field of computing and data science. I extend a warm and respectful welcome to each and every one of you. To mark the beginning of this prestigious conference, we shall now begin with a prayer song, which is a tribute to our values, vision, and vibrant spirit. We request everyone to kindly rise and join us in honoring our institution as we play the prayer song.
Vandeham Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Vandeham Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Vandeham Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Sukha Swachha Swarupini Swachha Hridaya Nivasini Sukha Swachha Swarupini Swachha Hridaya Nivasini Swaprakasha Rupini Swaprakasha Rupini Swaprakasha Rupini Vandeham Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Vandeham Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Vandeham Sharadam.
Thank you. To begin the inaugural, it is my absolute honor to introduce a personality who embodies wisdom, leadership, and dedication to academic excellence. Dr. E.M. Malathi, Professor and Head of Computer Science and Engineering at Rajalakshmi Engineering College, is a scholar with over 2 decades of teaching experience. We now invite our respected Head of the Department, Dr. Malathi Ma'am, to deliver the welcome address.
Happy morning to everyone present here and the respected dignitaries, head of the institutions, departments, dean, sir, and coordinators and faculty members all over here in this hall. It's a great pleasure and a great sense of responsibility that I welcome you all to the International Conference on Computing and Data Science, ICCDS, the second edition in the year 2025. Technically, it is sponsored by IEEE Madras section. The Department of CSE, established in the year 1997, has consistently advanced in both teaching and research. This second edition serves as a distinguished platform, uniting researchers, industry experts, and innovators to explore the evolving domains of intelligent computing and data science. We have proudly received more than 2,000 papers for submission, out of which we have shortlisted 200 for presentations here, and we welcome the authors for the day through online mode as well as in the offline mode, reflecting the global interest in this field. I'm also pleased to mark that a co-located pre-conference workshop titling Bridging Reality and Virtuality, that is, we have given an hands-on session in VR AR technology yesterday as a co-located workshop, and we had 40 students participating from industry experts. The need for integral and multidisciplinary research has never been more critical, and I welcome this conference edition to address this need, forecasting novel ideas and practical solutions. It's a great privilege to welcome our chief guest of honor, Mr. S. Ramesh, the Chief Finance Officer, the whole-time director from Ford Motor Private Limited. Welcome, sir. I extend my sincere appreciation and welcome to our respected principal, Dr. S.N. Murugesan, sir. Welcome, sir. We are also thankful and my appreciation to the head of the institutions and management for their continuous support and encouragement. A special welcome to our Dean, sir, and also a welcome to Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan, respected advisor, Rajalakshmi Institution. Good morning, sir, and welcome, sir. I also welcome the all other faculties of the department in joining hands with my faculty of CSE and non-teaching staffs of CSE and the students and volunteers of this conference organizing team. As a host department, we are proud to welcome you, and also I take privilege in welcoming the eminent speakers from industry and academia who will share their expert knowledge through keynote address. My heartfelt appreciation and welcome to all the participants, organizers, reviewers, and also the IEEE executive members for making this event possible. May this event be a milestone that sparks new collaboration and triggers the innovation research and shapes the future of intelligent computing and data science. Welcome to this conference, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm and thoughtful welcome. Now, it's time to hear from a visionary who has been instrumental in shaping the direction of this conference. With over 25 years of academic leadership and a deep commitment to this institution and its students, he has been a key guiding force for many. Please join me in welcoming Dr. P. Kumar, Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Rajalakshmi Engineering College, to present the overview of this conference.
Very good morning. Thank you, Avantika, for your nice introduction. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I welcome you all for this second IEEE International Conference on Computing and Data Science, ICCDS 2025, which is technically supported by IEEE Madras section. Since it's going to be a second edition, last year we conducted the first edition in the April 2024, where we have been published about 100 papers, which has been in IEEE Explore, which is going to be Scopus indexed. Since we have been published with 100 papers, now we have been moved to 250 papers this year. And as we gather here today, we are united by a shared passion for advancing the frontiers of knowledge in computing and transformative power of data science. This conference is not just a platform for sharing innovation, research, and cutting-edge development. It is a vibrant community coming together to challenge the status quo and derive forward our understanding of complex data systems and computational theories. We are here to foster dialogue, exchange novel ideas, and spark collaborations and transcend geographical and disciplinary boundaries. We are privileged to have among us some of the distinguished scholars, pioneering researchers, and visionary thinkers from across the globe. Over the next 2 days, we will have the opportunity to engage in a series of keynotes and sessions that promise you to enrich your knowledge and ignite your curiosity. So we have planned to have 4 keynote sessions. The first one to be AI in the medical field, Trends and Challenges by Dr. Mellika Meher, Dean of Faculty, University of Mauritius. Second one is on Stronger Together, How Assemble Methods Boost ML Performance by Dr. Sangeeta, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman. And third one, we have a guided tour through AI, ML, and math that powers them by Dr. Balaji D. Narasimhan, Global Senior Manager, Data Engineering and AI, McDermott Incorporation, Houston, USA. And the fourth one will be on One Framework, Many Frontiers, How Data Governance Empowers Every Industry by Bharat Kishore, developer for System Softwares, Kemper, USA. So we are planned 4 keynote sessions across these 2 days, along with the paper presentation. Our agenda is packed with presentations and on latest breakthroughs and technological advancement that promise to redefine what is possible in our fields. So we have received a total of 2,251 research papers from contributors worldwide. Among these, 137 papers were submitted from 12 countries, including US, UK, China, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bangladesh, and Malaysia. Out of 2,114 papers received from across 26 states within India. A team of 127 expert reviewers conducted the double-blind peer review process to ensure the quality and integrity of submissions. ICCDS 2025 serves as a convergence point where 250 national, international, and industry researchers present their findings, fostering the exploration of new trends and ideas in computing and data science. The presented papers will be submitted to IEEE Explore, which is Scopus indexed. I extend a warm welcome to the participants who have come here to present their research work. I also welcome our students for this conference, where they will get a lot of opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals, gain insights into cutting-edge technology, and explore the potential for collaboration. I once again welcome you all for this International Conference on Computing and Data Science. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us such a clear and inspiring picture of what today's session aims to achieve. It is now our privilege to invite a leader who embodies academic excellence and visionary leadership, our esteemed principal, Dr. S.N. Murugesan. With over 25 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration, Dr. S.N. Murugesan has played a pivotal role in elevating the standards of engineering education and has been instrumental in shaping both minds and institutions. His passion for education, innovation, and student empowerment is truly inspiring. Sir, please.
Respected advisor, distinguished chief guest, Mr. S. Ramesh, CFO and all-time director, Ford Motors Private Limited, HODs, deans, directors, faculty members, and students, very importantly, the scholars, authors, and keynote speakers. Very good morning to all of you. I feel very proud and happy that the Department of Computer Science Engineering is organizing this conference on computing and data science for the second time. Let me begin by congratulating the department, Dr. Kumar and the team, for coming out this conference. A conference of this nature requires a lot of effort. They call for papers, they have to convince the author, because authors have so many forums to present their work. And I'm happy that many of the authors have confidence in the way we conduct, and they have submitted their work for presenting in this conference. And also, I would like to thank the reviewers who have meticulously gone through all the papers and selected papers with merits. And coming to the theme, as individuals, we all make decisions. Suppose if I want to go out, immediately I take my mobile, check Google Map, which route will be better for me to reach the place where I want to go. Even for going to a movie, I'll have to go through the review and which movie is good. These are all simple decisions. In Western countries, definitely when they go out, they see the mobile, check whether, what kind of dress they have to wear. These are all very common. For crucial decisions, suppose I have money I want to invest, in which company I have to invest. Even larger organizations, when they want to expand their business, what product they have to choose, where they have to locate the next plant. All these important decisions, even political people, before election, they hire somebody called a strategist. Prashant Kishore, you might have heard of this name. So all these are purely based on data. So data has become an integral part of everybody, be it individual, small organization, big organization, even governments. Mere data is not enough. Data are to be collected, stored, retrieved, analyzed. For all these things, computing is very essential. If we consider computing, it all started with vacuum tube, then transistors, then microprocessors, then integrated circuits. Now so many things. which I cannot comprehend. I'm not an expert in that field. They call it as GPU, something like that. So this evolution of computing is profound, very rapid. This advancement of computing has complemented this data. So these informed decisions are very much possible and very much relevant. So in this context, the theme of this conference is very important. I'm happy that many of the authors, keynote speakers are shown keen interest. As participants, show evince interest and attend all the sessions, and these 2 days deliberations will be of immense help to all of you. Coming to our country, many advancements are happening, many new fields are open. The semiconductor mission of India, India Semiconductor Mission, is yet another important step taken by the government. This will throw open several opportunities for youngsters like you. Also, in the recent time, I think the chief guest was also mentioning that global capability centers, many are being established, which in turn coupled with computing, data, all those things. So several new opportunities are coming up. In that backdrop, I think the deliberations on these 2 days conference will be of immense interest and help to you. And I wish all to be benefited out of these deliberations. Once again, congratulations to Computer Science, Dr. Kumar and his team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Your words have added great value and set a meaningful tone for today's conference. I now request our chief guest, Mr. Ramesh S., to kindly release the proceedings of the event. I kindly request our respected advisor, Dr. C. R. Muthukrishnan, to receive the first copy. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Ramesh S., the Chief Financial Officer of Ford Motor Private Limited, the Global Capability Center of Ford Motor Company in India. In this role, Mr. Ramesh oversees finance, strategy, and operations and leads the FP&A Center of Excellence, handling global management reporting and consolidation for Ford. He began his journey with Ford in 2000 and over the past 24 years has held leadership roles across manufacturing, product development, exports, treasury, and corporate finance. Prior to his current role, he served as Global Product Controller based in Melbourne, overseeing development of the Ford Ranger and Ford Endeavour lines. Mr. Ramesh is a graduate in mathematics and an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Costs and Works Accountants, and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. He has also led Ford's corporate social responsibility efforts as chairman of the Sanjeevi Trust and currently serves on the CSR committee of Ford Motor Private Limited. In addition, he is a non-executive director on the boards of Ford Smart Mobility India Limited and Electrify India Limited. I now request our respected principal, Dr. S.N. Murugesan, to present a bouquet to our chief guest. We are honored to have such a dynamic leader with us today. Please join me in welcoming him. Sir, we now invite you to kindly address the audience and share your insights.
I'll handle it. Okay, no, I'll. Okay, no, I think there's going to be a few slides. Yeah, open that. Yeah. That's okay, I'll keep it here.
It's ready.
Yes. Okay. No, let's connect one. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Let the first slide be here. Yeah, that's okay. This is fine. Just by reading it. Students and my colleagues out here, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I was really surprised when the invite was extended to me. I am not a techie, so I was basically questioning what is that you want from me in addressing a conference and symposium on technology, data science and AI. So one feedback that was given to me was I need to just provide a context as to how we use data and technology in a business environment. So all of my conversation will not cover technology. I'm going to talk about pretty simple common sense approach, what we use data and technology in business. So don't expect any technology or jargons from me. I'm going to talk how I am using technology, how my business is using technology. So it will be pretty simple and plain forward common sense approach. So let me start off with a story, right? In Ford, we typically use this story to set the context amongst newcomers as to why data science and technology and AI is key in a business setup. Typically, this trend started in retail industry. Tesco and Target, those of you who know, who've traveled out, those are two really large companies who have the retail chains, they have the store formats. So it is they who started using data in a big way. In the case of Target, their data science team predicted one way as to how they can identify pregnant ladies who shop. So the data that they collate from their shops, if a lady purchases unscented, unfragranced solutions and particular vitamins, they were able to form a pattern that those people who buy these items are typically carrying preterm of 3 to 6 months. So they were able to provide them clear, defined advertisement campaigns for other products so that those mothers will be able to buy all of these things. This was the first story that we normally say in Ford as to how data can be used in a business setup. The second example that we normally talk is on Tesco, again a pretty large retail giant, right? So there what they did was their data science team analyzed a particular pattern wherein on Fridays, young men who are buying diapers for their kids, they were able to establish a correlation between buying diapers and buying beers. So if you do any customer survey, you will never be able to pick this trend. Why is it a young man buying a diaper is going to buy a beer, right? So the story was established after analyzing the pattern that typically young men who buy on Fridays just before their weekend. Their wives would have missed out to buy diapers. So the wives would have asked the husbands to go pick diaper on the way. So when he comes into a store, when he buys a diaper, he thinks about his weekend. So he goes around the shop, buys a can of beer for himself as a reward that he's doing a household chore, so he's trying to reward himself. This kind of a analogy you would have never obtained by any extensive customer survey or customer interviews, right? But the data science team of Target was able to establish a pattern, and the Target team understood this pattern, and what they did was they were able to provide, again, targeted discounts on beers, and more importantly, they were able to modify the store layout so that the beer cans are stacked just next to the diapers. So at the end of the day, when this change was done, the store was able to really see a significant volume in business. On Friday evenings, they were able to see the number of diaper selling goes up, the number of beer can selling was going up, right? So this is how typically data is used in a business setup. You will get data, but if you're going to analyze it manually, you will never be able to understand the subtle pattern. In this case, beer and diapers, right? Any normal person would think, why on earth there should be a correlation between selling a diaper and a beer can? But the data science team, analyzing the data over a period of time, they were able to establish this correlation, and more importantly, the company used the correlation to get a business value. So these are a couple of examples that we normally talk in Ford as to why Ford should work on data science in a big way. So what is the analogy for Ford, right? Now that we spoke about the diaper story, from a Ford Motor Company's perspective, the supermarket, the Target or Tesco that I spoke about, the transaction logs are like the terabytes of data that our company receives from the connected vehicles, from the connected manufacturing layout that we have put in, the CNC machines that we have in the shop floor. That's one analogy. The unexpected link between beer and diaper are the correlation that our data scientists or the AI model that we put in, that's the correlation that we get. And moving the beer can next to diaper store in the aisle, that's the change that we put in our company's business processes so that we get a great value out of it. So as you can see, we are also in the business of analyzing data and establishing this business relationship between two or multiple variables, and more importantly, how we are going to use that relationship in generating the value. So I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 use cases that we have done. This beer and diapers is just the correlation for you to set the context, and what we have done in Ford, right? Typically in a company setup, from a finance point of view, what is the objectives that you try to work on, right? Either you need to reduce the cost, or you need to increase the revenue, or increase the profitability, bring in new streams of business. Those are all the business objectives based on which we work on. So any data science project that we do should lead to one of these objectives. So one of the key business problems that Ford faced was the warranty cost. In an automotive setup, warranty cost represents a significant drag in the income statement. So typically when a car breaks down, right, the car is not serviceable, it comes to the dealership, or the dealership will go to the car, identify what the error state is, then either the component needs to be changed or it can be serviced. So this, and typically if this happens within the warranty period, the company needs to provide the service free of cost. And as and when the number of repairs increase, the warranty cost increase, and that's a drag on the income statement. So Ford Motor Company faced this challenge, and the solution we thought was through AI. So what we did was, we thought, why should our solution should always be reactive in nature? That is, after the component has failed, after the car has conked off, right? Why can't we be proactive? That's the challenge we gave to our data scientists. So they came up with a solution, right? The first step in any problem, as Sir was saying, is data collation. So in this, what we do is we get the telematics data from the vehicles. Almost every vehicle these days has modems installed. They have data sensors involved. So every item from the car provides an input to our data science team. This is in the form of information as to how the engine is running, how the transmission is running, how the battery efficiencies are coming up. So multiple level of data comes from the vehicle, and that gets collated into our data servers. And then this is fed into our machine language based AI model. So these analyze the various variables that comes from the vehicles and try to form a pattern. And in this case, to reduce the warranty cost, what this do is this will identify the digital footprint where there is going to be a potential failure in one of the component. Before the failure has happened, the AI model will pick up, considering these parameters, this component is most likely to fail. So this is kind of a proactive in nature. Once this is identified, this AI model will trigger a message. The first message will go to the vehicle owner or the fleet manager saying that there could be a potential failure so that he can plan his work. The second message will go to the nearby dealership where the vehicle is located so that the dealer knows that this vehicle is likely to come to his showroom where the vehicle is going to get serviced. Most importantly, this message will also come to the factory where we will try and see if this component is going to fail, does this dealer has a replaceable part? If he does not, it's on the Ford Motor Company's owners to ship the part to the dealer so that when the vehicle enters the service area, the dealer is able to service the car. So this is how the problem gets addressed, right? Typically, what you would have seen in the Indian context is you take your vehicle, the dealer will analyze the vehicle, he will say, this part is conked off, sir, I don't have service part readily available, I need to make an order. Then the part comes after 4 or 5 days. This is a multi-day ordeal for the customer. But what our data scientists have cracked through with this approach is, instead of a multi-day ordeal, the moment the vehicle comes in, the dealer is expecting the vehicle to come in, dealer knows this part is going to get changed, Ford Motor Company would have shipped the part will be available, the car gets serviced, it moves out. It becomes a really pleasant customer interface for the vehicle owner. So this is the first challenge that we kind of addressed using data science and AI model. So what this really means is, before the part gets conked off, you really know how it's going to get resolved. More importantly, we will use this information to provide inputs to our suppliers who actually make these parts. So if we identify there is a problem in the design of the part, the design gets rectified. If we believe it's a problem in the manufacturing process, that again feedback goes into the tier 1 supplier, he changes his manufacturing process. More importantly, what this means is we avoid major recalls. In US and developed markets, right? When you get a pattern that 100 such components are failing in the market, Ford Motor Companies needs to give something called product recall, and that recall really is costly in nature. What we are doing here is actually avoiding a recall. The moment we know this part is likely to be failure, before the part fails, you actually change the part so that you avoid recall. So every such recall typically leads to $10 to $15 million of cost. By using this data that is coming from the vehicle and the AI model, we are able to avoid significant recalls, leading to significant reduction in warranty costs for the company. So that's one business context I want to give it to you. The second business context, just expanding on what I just spoke, right? So here we are using the software, we identify what the parts is going to fail, and we replace the part. So what we thought was, okay, reducing the cost is one area where we need to work on, but the other business objective is increasing the revenue. So typically in a car setup, right, in a OEM setup, the buyer comes, he buys the vehicle, he walks away. After that, the chance for a OEM to make money in the vehicle is very limited. Especially during the warranty period, there will be nothing. After the warranty period, only when the vehicle comes for service, the OEM can make money. After that, there is no relationship between the buyer and the seller. And in the case of a multi-dealer franchisees, right, the buyer can come to your own dealership showroom, or he can go to any other mechanic also, gets the vehicle service. So the revenue stream really gets lost out. So what we thought was, how can we establish a revenue stream even after the vehicle is sold? So that's where, again, the Ford data team came up with the approach. The software and the AI model that we just used for reducing the warranty cost, we added some other additional context, like the example that Sir said, right? Where the vehicle moves. In US, typically a trader, right, a mechanic or a plumber, they don't walk and do all of these things. They have a pool of vehicles, 2 or 3 vehicles. It's called a fleet operator. So we try to sell software to these fleet operators along with additional data, right? If you want to go to this location to service, say, a broken item, you should take this route. If you are using this vehicle to your business, on an average, you work on, say, Monday to Thursdays. Friday is a low day for you. We provide the service to the fleet operator, saying that if your vehicle is due for service, Friday is a day where you don't make much of a revenue. So please come to this showroom. There is a slot available on Friday so that you can get your vehicle serviced. For EV vehicles, if he is traveling, we constantly monitor the battery performance and tell that your battery is going down, you are traveling in this route, there is a charging infrastructure there, go and get the vehicle charged. So we provide these additional inputs as service and make them buy our software. We call it as Ford Pro business. We typically use software as a stream of revenue. We sell this software to our fleet operators, where they typically have 5 or 6 vehicles. They use the generate revenue, and for them, any loss in revenue is a significant loss in their business. So our Ford Pro software really helps them in ensuring there is a high uptime of all of their vehicles. So this is how we sell the software and generate revenue out of it. In the first instance, we use the software to reduce the warranty cost. In the second instance, we sell this software as a package and ensure the customer generates significant revenue for us. So in both are these two good examples in Ford Motor Company as to how we use data and AI in a big way. Let me slightly move away from technology aspect and try and talk from finance context, right? So typically in a finance setup, we also use data and AI. I'll give an example again. So we have in our Global Capability Center, we handle all the payments for all Ford Motor Company's global suppliers. Typically in a month, we spend around close to $100 billion of check payments, right? So when we send these checks or electronic payments to multiple suppliers, there will always be questions, because the supplier will not be able to correlate the payment against a particular invoice. So there will be emails, there will be voice calls that will be coming into our payables team, and they need to respond. And when we were probably 5-6 years before, we had a pretty large payables team who will analyze all these emails, who will analyze all these calls. If the calls are in a different language, we need to have a translator in place who will translate that natural language into English so that these questions can be answered. But what we have now done is, we have put a machine language solution in place. This machine language solution, it will read all the emails, it will listen to all the voice calls, use NLP and AI, it will decipher what is the question, and because we have taught the system, these are the standard questions that you typically get in the first leg of query, the second leg of query, the system will be able to generate a response. The first level of response will go directly from the system. Our payables team will never get involved. The machine language will read the email, interpret, and then respond. The second leg of the response also is managed by the solution, by the system. Only in the third leg, if the question is not answered, only at the third instance, human intervention comes in. So by this approach, we have drastically pruned down the headcount in the payables team. From around 100 plus team, we have now reduced it to 20 plus, because the first two legs are the bigger area of concern for the supplier, right? The moment in the first instance his question gets answered, he is not going to come back to us. The second leg, if the question is not answered, only then the human intervention happens. This is how we have deployed data and AI in a finance setup. In an IT setup, I'll tell you again how this is used, right? Ford uses a lot of software. We develop our own software. Moving the software from a proto into DevOps scenario, right? That again is a really complex process. We have our own cybersecurity protocols. We have our own protocols as to how the software needs to be deployed in a live production server. So, and this happens for every software that we deploy. So the data science team studied this pattern, and they understood that these are protocols which does not typically change. Unless there is a dramatically change in the technology, these protocols does not change. So what they have come up with the AI model is, they've converted this method into a standard AI package. So all the software developer needs to do is, he will just do his own software, then he load the software into our data warehousing tool, and this AI tool will sit on top of it, convert this software into a production-led environment, and it will push the software to a production server. So this is the latest area where we have developed, we have used this AI solution to move the software from a proto into a production environment. So there are many examples I can quote, but I thought these are some of examples which are really close to my heart, and that's the reason I thought I should share with all of you this, right? Moving away from the business context, right? If this is as simple as developing a software, developing AI, why is it not all business are doing it? So it's on one hand, you feel it is really easy because you have data, people come up with AI logic. Why can't all businesses pick this up and work on, right? But there are certain foundational challenges a business needs to work on. And one of the biggest challenge that we have perceived is the quality of data. We would have heard the word garbage in, garbage out, right? Whatever is the quality of data you provide for the machine language to teach itself, that's how the quality of output is going to be. So the most significant challenge that we face is the quality of data. And in our case, as I said, data comes from multiple legacy of systems. We are a 100-year-old company, so data comes from multiple systems. Still, we are using mainframes. So the most unglamorous job for a future data scientist is to cleanse the data. So we put significant amount of effort in cleaning the data, standardizing it so that the data can move into a data warehousing tool and that can act as a single source of truth. So that's one fundamental challenge which all companies will face when they try to use AI in a big way. The second key challenge which I want to talk on is cyber security, right? It's always easy to say that just connect all the vehicles, just connect all the machines, everything is going to be done by the machine, right? The more and more interconnected world is there, the more problems is going to be there from a cyber security threat perspective. So if you ask any CEO what is the biggest challenge that keeps him awake in the night, he will say cyber security. So you need to come, in every approach, you need to come up with a cyber security design way so that you don't just add cyber security as an afterthought in the entire process. Every process that you design in cleaning the data or coming up with the AI solution, you need to have cyber security as one potential threat, and your design approach should be in such a way that you're able to manage this threat. Third key functional challenge that I normally perceive is culture, right? In India, finding data scientists is not a big deal. Yes, it is a problem, but we can still find. But they are not going to help me run the business. I need people in the shop floor. I need dealer showroom technicians. I need floor managers who needs to modify their culture to adapt to this new environment. And typically the first expectation is, "Ayo, AI has come and it's going to take my job. It's a threat for me," right? So I need to modify the culture so that people in the shop floor see data as a potential asset, this AI as a co-pilot in their delivering job. So culture, modifying the culture is a really key challenge that I need to work on. And lastly, regulations. Getting data is easy, but in modified countries, in developed countries, even in India it's happening, data is considered as an asset. It's a really private information. You can't just move data from one location to another location. When I say we are looking into the data coming from vehicles across the countries, right? There is one regulation in US, I can get the data in one form. There are regulations in Germany and in Scandinavian countries. I will never be able to bring the data from US into India. So I need to come up with a governance approach so that data still gets retained in their own servers in their home location, but the observation and the AI tool can be developed from a different location. So data privacy is a very key foundational challenge that we need to work on. And last but not the least is liability and explainability, right? Whatever I say, I can come up with an AI tool, it will provide decision, but at the end of the day, if AI tool gives a right decision, everyone will pat on their back. But if it's going to provide a wrong decision, who is going to be held liable? Honestly, we were not able to come up with anyone where we can pin the responsibility on. I'll again give an example, right? In finance, we have used AI tools to generate financial forecasting, right? So we have generated financial forecasting. First 2-3 years, the accuracy was great. So everyone said, yeah, finance has done a great job. But the moment there is a level of accuracy that is not met, people started walking away. I really don't know. It is finance AI tool which generated this data. I am not going to own up to this. It is not my budget. It is finance budget. People started walking away, right? So you need to think about a new tool which we are hearing it is coming up in the market, that is explainable AI, right? The AI should not just give a decision, it should also explain as to why it is giving that decision. So that's again a key challenge. I don't think business has really cracked it, but what I'm hearing is there are a lot of explainable AI which are available in the market, which will help you tell why the AI tool is making this decision, so that you'll be able to substantiate it. And if you see all the reports from Gartner or McKinsey, they'll all say these are some of the key foundational challenges that every company should focus on. And last but not the least, right, a final word of caution. So we spoke about incredible opportunities, significant operational efficiencies that a business can generate, and the foundational challenges that they need to work on. But take it from me, the most sophisticated algorithm, the most elegant code, the most powerful computing infrastructure that you put in place, they are all worthless if it is not tethered to a real value business problem, right? This might be the most significant difference between a theoretical setup and a practical business world. In an academic environment, pursuit of knowledge, as sir said, is great. You will be able to push the technology boundaries, you will learn new things, those are all great. But from a business perspective, if I see it, they are of no use to me. Yes, it is good, a foundational research, fundamental research is happening, business will understand, but if there is no business value to me, I don't need to invest my money on it, right? So in an academic world, you believe technology is a pursuit, whereas in a business setup, technology is just a tool for me to pursue my own business goals, which is making money. So there is a significant difference in between these two things, right? So from a business perspective, what I see is, whatever technology you're going to bring in, whatever AI solution you're going to bring in, the simple question that I ask is, what is the value does that create, right? So that's where I wanted to offer one more example before I wrap it up, right? Zillow, I don't know how many of you heard this company. It's like Magic Bricks and 99 Acres, what we have in India, right? It's a real estate company. So when they started, they also did similar advertising. It's just a portal where customers can come and register their houses for sale. After a point in time, they thought they have great quality data because customers wantedly come and advertise their property. They advertise what is the value they want. So Zillow felt that they have excellent quality of data. They thought, why not I monetize this data? So what they understood was, people are really finding it difficult to sell their houses. So what they came up with the business model was, they'll use this data, they'll put an AI model on it, they'll establish if a small refurbishment is done, the value of the houses can go significantly. So they thought they have a great data, they have a great AI model, so they ventured into this business, right? But in a span of 2 to 3 years, the business really collapsed. The company has to wind up, not just this division, the entire company has to wind out. Because what they felt at the end of the day was, AI is giving a good result on an average level, but not at an individual level. So, which clearly shows there is a significant difference between a practical world and a theoretical world. An algorithm will give you great accuracy, and you may believe in a theoretical environment, plus or minus 5% is great. But in a business context, the profit margin itself will be only 5 or 4 or 5%, right? So if the accuracy in a theoretical setup is different from a practical world, so whatever great code you write, unless it is not transferred or translated into an achievable business goal, AI models will not work, right? The failure of Zillow is a great example for all of you guys, especially in Ford, how we try to treat this, right? When anyone comes to me, sir, can you please approve a budget for this AI solution? The question that I normally ask is, I will not ask, can you do it? Because I know, right, people are data scientists, they're really smart, they'll be able to come up with a technology that they will prove that they can do it. But the question that I normally find an answer was, should we do it? And if we are going to do it, what is the value the company is going to get? Is it going to reduce the cost, or is it going to increase the revenue, or is it going to lead to a customer satisfaction? Unless I establish a clear-cut, straight-line goal that this technology or this solution is going to provide me this opportunity, I am not going to approve any money for this, right? So that's one key powerful lesson I want to leave it with you guys, right? You guys will believe that you are great coders, that is good, but what the pragmatism you need to carry is how this technological solution is going to lead to a business value. Please keep this pragmatism at the back of your mind. Ensure you are not just great coders, but are business thinkers. Unless you are going to add business value using your technological mindset, you will not be successful. So if you want to be successful, have great technology, but the most important lesson that you need to draw from my lecture here is how this technology is going to solve a real world problem, how this technology is going to help a business generate its value. If you're able to crack this link, then you will be successful coders. More importantly, you'll be successful finance managers. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening address. I now request our esteemed advisor, Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan, to present a memento to our chief guest as a token of our appreciation. It is our honor and privilege to welcome Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan, a distinguished academic, advisor, and technology leader. Dr. Muthukrishnan currently serves as an advisor at Rajalakshmi Institutions. He was formerly a consulting advisor at Tata Consultancy Services for 8 years and served as a professor for IIT Madras for an exceptional 28 years. A proud alumnus of IIT Kanpur, where he earned his MTech and PhD. Sir, please.
Respected Chief Guest, Sri Ramesh from Ford Motor Private Limited, our Principal, Professor S.N. Murugesan, Dr. Malati, Head of the CSE Department, Dr. Kumar, the lead behind this conference, ICCDS 2025, Dr. Murli Bhaskar, Dean Academic, Dr. Manoranjini, Dr. Pallivelan, formerly head of the EC department and now Director PG Studies in our college, Dr. Ilavargan, former outstanding scientist in DRDO, now giving us lead and guidance in terms of research, other faculty, dear students, and distinguished faculty and students from other institutions. This is the second edition of the conference, ICCDS. The first one was held in 2024. I will start with a small multiple choice. I'm going to give 3 options, and I want to get a feel of which, particularly the students here, feel is a hot area now. Quantum computers, deep learning, generative AI, Gen AI as it's called. So you can choose one of them to be a hot one. To get a response from me, I'm just going to request a show of hands. Who are all voting for quantum computing? Hands up. Very few, very few. So it's exciting, but it's a little bit away, I think. Deep learning. Come on, come on. Yeah, a few more hands, but not exciting enough yet. Gen AI, generative AI, more hands. So I'm in sync with you people. That's good. Generative AI work had started when deep learning was in full swing. Basically take a lot of information, data of varied kinds, and make a model out of it. So it came with the jargon large language models. And the first significant event in this was in 2022, November, when OpenAI made its ChatGPT available across the world. Anybody could just go and download it and start doing something with it. That was November 2022. This year, 2025, in a couple of months, they'll be releasing ChatGPT version 5. The first version in 2022 was version 3.0. And the statistic says that around the few days, the couple of weeks or so, 2.5 billion prompts per day were being presented to ChatGPT. 2.5 billion a day. The population of the world is 8 billion. You can take about 25% of it as somewhat savvy in terms of using information technology. And that would still mean about 2.5, about 2 billion or so. And 2.5 billion. Of course, a large number of it may be exploring, trying to get ahead with, in terms of some fluency with generative AI and so on. The first versions of ChatGPT was mainly in terms of text messages. Now they have voice enabled, but that time we had to type in something called a prompt and some response will come. Compare this to the earlier generation. We used to search. Google particularly had a very large corpus of gathered information from the internet, web pages as we call them, and you could, and they had it indexed, organized, and so on, with computing power scaling up, which could not be met without a very large number of them working together, very massive parallel processing with associated technologies. And it was search. You could type in some words and you will get a whole page. It will come up and say 1.5 million pages hit. All right? And of course, you only look at the first page and never go beyond that. From that, we have come a long way. So information is now available through automation to be accessible to us in a more meaningful way. That's the way to look at it. And GenAI is a great step forward. To give you a sort of crude analogy, James Watt, several centuries ago, invented the steam power. He basically saw a kettle boiling water, and when water had boiled to absorb latent heat and become steam at the same temperature, the kettle cover, the lid started moving. He observed that, and he said that there is power in steam. But then, maybe about 100 years later, or 150 years later, we harnessed that steam power to run locomotives, to engines, to move things several hundred miles over. Most of the railway network was driven by steam engines to start with, and the steam was produced with coal. Of course, now we have other forms of energy which can help us in locomotion. So the analogy I'm bringing is to compare what happened between James Watt's observation and the steam engine is what is happening between search and Gen AI. So that kind of a scale. And this is touching all fields, not one field, across the field. Because earlier, our civilization, our society, our economy, everything was moving in terms of production based on materials and consumption of physical goods. Now we are consuming information and making decisions, making all kinds of activity, human learning, entertainment, and so on. So there's a great convergence of interests in the higher planes of human endeavor through information. And the acceleration is mind-boggling. Moving from James Watt observation to steam locomotives took 100 years, but moving from Google in 2007-8 to ChatGPT in 2018-19 took only 10 years. So there's a great acceleration, which is also important to note. I would like to share with you at this occasion a couple of interesting examples. Very recently, maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, there was World Coding Championship, AI model in World Coding Championship. I think it was held in Japan someplace. So, you know, ChatGPT or LLM, other various other companies, there are probably more than 100 startups, or maybe even a few hundred startups in the area of Gen AI all over the world, not only in America, but in many other countries. China, for example, India included very much. We're all trying to leverage this technology of building models out of a large corpus of information for useful purposes in variety of domains. Specific examples would include scientific research, for example. So how can you enhance the capability in scientific research through tools like this? Of course, corporate world, they have several areas of activity, finance, logistics, what have you. And of course, learning, you know, arts and science. For example, the generative models can be used for working with diagrams, pictures, and so on. DALI, for example, you can create pictures and so on. Of course, there's an associated issue of fake stuff, but that can be dealt with. You know, when we got email going, didn't we have spams also come along? But we overcame that difficulty. Now, every email service sitting on any desk is having a good spam filter. All right. Of course, spam generation has not been tackled that well, but even though we don't, we look behind, if you look behind the scenes, even spam email generation has been probably choked by more than 80% or so. Without that, if you are now flooded with, for example, say 100 emails in your spam folder, you probably will have 10,000 or 20,000 of them. You know, bots which are creating spams have been hunted and shut down and so on. So, if you look at technology proceeding in terms of benign use as well as anti-use kind of thing, like as they say, a sword is also it's a surgeon's scalpel, it's a butcher's knife, and it's also can be a negative tool in the hands of a ill-willed person. So even though these aspects are there in technology, I think if you take it together, we are succeeding. We are succeeding in an enormous way. Benign use of technology. So coming to ethics, coming to AI with ethics is important. And India has got an AI policy in which they have stressed ethics, explainability of AI, and AI doing good in a larger sense for a large number of people. These are the underpinning tenets of the AI policy in India. And we could expect in the next 15, 20 years substantial progress in synchrony with our other development in terms of leveraging AI, not merely for India, but for the global world. So that's an interesting challenge, and all of you young people are in this field now. All the students here, you have a great future ahead. And I should congratulate Dr. Kumar and his team for putting together this conference. They have listed 250 papers in several parallel sessions. I think probably 15 parallel sessions or 15 venues are there, both today and tomorrow, a good part of tomorrow. And they also brought in collaborative and working with IEEE Madras section, which is quite active. And all the papers that are that come through this conference would be considered for publication IEEE Explore, which is also Scopus indexed. So this conference has also paid attention to great quality and how to further what happens in this conference to the larger world. So these are great achievements, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Kumar, Dr. Malati, and the team in Computer Science and Engineering at REC, Rajalakshmi Engineering College, for bringing together this conference and wish all the participants a good time. Now coming to this AI and coding championship which happened, in this event, 2025, a human won. There have been several attempts in AI pitching humans and machine. In chess, for example, the very earliest thing was in a game called checkers. It's a board game, interesting game. The closest analogy in Indian culture would be Palanguri. I don't know how many of you know about that. Checkers was beaten by a machine, not the new kind which is sitting on the internet with all kinds of theories and models behind it, but by an IBMer called Arthur Samuel. And it happened in, I think, 1968 or something like that. The world champ was a machine. The best world champ could not win. So later we had Deep Blue giving challenge to grandmasters in chess and so on. So recently this AI coding competition, which is based on Gen AI, it generates code and so on. The problem was that the competition required contestants to solve a single complex optimization problem taking over about 600 minutes, 10 hours. And the machine participated, and there were several rounds for the humans. And finally, the person who won has the name Debiak. He received the award at the Coder AI Code at Coder World's Final Heuristic Contest, it's called. His program was selected the winner compared to the AI coding. So that shows that at the very challenging levels in the tug of war, humans are still ahead. And you have the potential to join that band on the right side of the tug of war. Make it work for you. All the best. Thank you very much.
We once again thank Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan for joining us today and sharing his valuable insights. We are honored to have with us Dr. V. Murli Bhaskaran, Dean Academics and Professor of Computer Science at Rajalakshmi Engineering College. With over 30 years of experience in teaching, research and academic leadership, he brings immense value to today's proceedings. I now invite Dr. V. Murli Bhaskaran to deliver the felicitation address.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my dear budding engineers, very good morning. As we know that in today's world population is 800 crores, out of which 10% of the people are involved in developing the products, whether it's a software, hardware, car, automobiles, everything. Remaining 90%, so in which 10 to 20% are below age, that is a toddlers, they can't use, and others are using the products. And today's users are tomorrow's developers. That is very much important because you are all going to learn what is there and what you want that you can do. So developers are involved in computer science for hardware, networking, speed, operating system, and application softwares. All these are the need. When the people, they thirst on that, they will develop. And people, they will identify the people minds and then develop. For in which they identify the people minds and then develop one of the product is Google search engine. Okay, Google search engine is not anybody thirst, and they identified definitely this product will be very much useful. So we all use the Google search engines every day. 10 lakhs people, more than 10 million people are using these Google search engines. And then another big product is MS Office. This MS Office consists of Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So today's, if you go any companies, people are in front of the computer, they are seeing the Excel. They used to say, I studied 4 Max and 8 core paper, and finally I'm working with Excel sheet. That's what happening. And nowadays they added one more software called Power BI that analyzing the data. And this MS Office take the computers to each and every home of the individuals in the world. Okay, that is the one reason computers, the population of the computer is increased. And these two were happened in 20th century. And 20th century is the greatest century because all innovative products happen. Because we know that 2000 years, out of which last 500 years only the many things was. Advisor told steam engine, 1500 or something like that. In these years they have started. Industry 0.0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are in 5. And all these happen in 20th century is the greatest century, what the innovations happened in more. And in 21st century, the next innovations. When I was student in 85 to 89, I was told that there are 5 generation languages, programming languages. First generation is a machine code, so you have to work with the machine. And second generation is assembly language code. And third one is high-level language, where C, Fortran, Basic. In those days, Basic, Fortran, Global, all languages. And then later Pascal, C they developed. And fourth generation language is DBMS related, SQL or something like. And during that period, they told us, fifth generation language will come. You can talk to the machine will generate the code. That is happening now through the ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT is now we are having whatever you ask, it will generate the code. Then what is our role? Then you have to generate the agent. So as Sir mentioned, there is a code competition. You take computer, my computer is a AI agent. This will participate in this computation, and whatever you ask, it will do. So you will become an agent for AI, and you take your boys. Like coacher will take the players to the ground. Like that, you have to take your agent to the competitions. So your agent will play vital role in the competitions. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. We'll now watch a short video about this conference. Now, as we near the close of this wonderful ceremony, it is time to express our heartfelt gratitude to all those who made it possible. To deliver the vote of thanks, I would like to invite a respected Deputy Head of the Department, Dr. J. Manoranjani, to the podium.
Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, it is my great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this momentous occasion, the inauguration of the second International Conference on Computing and Data Science, ICCDS 2025. First and foremost, we express our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our respected chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Thangam Meghanathan, and Vice Chairman, Mr. Abhay Meghanathan, for their visionary leadership and unwavering support in all academic pursuits. Their encouragement and commitment to excellence are the foundation of every successful initiative at our institution. A special note of appreciation to Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan, advisor, Rajalakshmi Institutions, for his gracious felicitation and continued support that always inspires and uplifts us. We are immensely thankful to our beloved principal, Dr. S.N. Murugesan, for presiding over today's function and guiding us with his steady leadership and encouragement. Sir, your unwavering support continues to be a source of strength to all of us. Our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. S. Ramesh, CFO and old-time Director, Ford Motor Private Limited, for accepting our invitation and delivering a truly inspiring inaugural address. Your presence has significantly enriched this event and provided valuable insights for all the participants. We also express our sincere appreciation to Dr. V. Murali Bhaskaran, Dean Academics, for joining us today and for constantly nurturing the academic culture of excellence. Our special thanks to Dr. E.M. Malati, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, for delivering the warm welcome address. Her commitment and leadership is truly commendable. We are grateful to Dr. P. Kumar, Professor of CSE Department, Conference Chair, for his vision, detailed planning, and constant support in driving this conference towards excellence. We also extend our sincere thanks to the IEEE Madras section for technically sponsoring this conference, thereby enhancing the credibility and global reach. I take this opportunity to thank all the faculty members of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering for their hard work, team spirit, and dedication in organizing this event successfully. A heartfelt word of appreciation goes to the student volunteers, coordinators, and technical participants from various institutions across different countries for being a part of ICCDS 2025, enriching with their valuable contributions. Finally, we are also grateful to all the distinguished guests, paper presenters, and delegates. Let us continue to collaborate, innovate, and inspire each other through such meaningful academic platforms. Thank you all once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all for being here. We kindly request all the participants and students to remain seated.
Now we have the parallel sessions will go on the classrooms. So paper will be presented by the authors from various institutions. So we request the students to be available in those halls so that you can also know about how the papers and what about technology they have been used. So you'll also get to know. So please use this opportunity in sitting in the classrooms. Okay? Thank you.